What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Pepe, Nacho. Good to be here in Buenos Aires. I absolutely love this city. I'm a huge football fan, so I'm pretty excited about being here. Wish I could see a football game, but I go back to South Africa tomorrow. So I've got 20 minutes today to try and fit about 45 minutes worth of content into a talk, and I'm pretty sure everyone can benefit from what I'm about to say. I wanted to give something to everyone. Instead of trying to present our platform or present a platform or a project or try and convince you about something, I wanted to give you guys something that you can take home, and not only will it benefit you, but you'll be able to benefit the entire Polkadot ecosystem. So I run the marketing communications for Zeitgeist. If you don't know who Zeitgeist are, we are the 19th parachain on Kusama, expect chaos. And we are a prediction markets protocol that allows anyone to create a prediction market. What is a prediction market? Very easy. It's kind of like betting, right? But without bookmakers setting the odds. The market sets the odds. So you can create a market and say, will Argentina beat... Who's the opening game in the FIFA World Cup for Argentina? Does anyone know? Anyone know? No one? Who's in their group? Who's in Argentina's group? No one knows. No football fans, eh? No football fans. Wow. Okay, rugby. Okay, South Africa are playing Argentina in my home city this year in rugby in Durban. Who will win? South Africa versus Argentina. You can go and create a market on Zeitgeist, and you can say Argentina or South Africa. The market will start. Each outcome is a token, an asset. Argentina, South Africa is an asset. And whoever you think is going to win, you will buy that token. At the end of the game, if you chose the correct token, you'll be redeemed 1 ZTG or 1 AUSD, depending on what the market is denominated in. And that way, you can start to see what will the odds be for that game. Because as people start buying the token, the price will increase, right? So South Africa obviously is going to win, and the price will be 0.75 ZTG, and the price of Argentina will be 0.25 ZTG. You buy South Africa, end of the game, South Africa do win by 1 point with a final penalty in the final seconds of the game, and you get 1 ZTG in return. So you made a good 18%, 28% profit. That's really how prediction markets work, and that's what we're building. We're really excited to bring it to the world. You can govern blockchains, you can govern companies with prediction markets, and we're going to be rolling all of this out within the next couple of weeks. But I'm not here to talk about Zeitgeist, much to the dismay of my team. I'm here to talk about how to make your lives better and how to make the Polkadot ecosystem bigger. So, who am I? Besides a guy that loves rugby and sport, I'm a creative. I love writing. I got into journalism about 2010, 2011, based on my radio background, and started writing about technology, which led me to Bitcoin. And after starting South Africa's first blockchain news website, Chris Hutchinson, the man behind the Polkadot community in the early days, brought me on board to join Zeitgeist for their marketing and communications endeavors, and here I am. But when I joined Zeitgeist last year, May, that was my first real deep dive into the Polkadot ecosystem. And I've been blown away at how this ecosystem operates. In my mind, the Polkadot ecosystem should be at the front of everyone's minds when it comes to thinking about Web3 platforms. I mean, let's be honest. The founder of Polkadot basically came up with the term Web3, right? So when a technologist or a tech journo or an engineer talks Web3, they should straight away think about Dotsama, Polkadot, Substrate. but they go to shitcoins, right? And the reality is, what Substrate offers this ecosystem is phenomenal. It's groundbreaking. It's truly revolutionary. And so I want us to harness the power of crypto Twitter to grow this ecosystem. And so I want to give you a couple of tools and a couple of handles that you can use for your own selves, but also for your own projects to see this ecosystem grow. So they're not definitive. I mean, there are much better Twitter characters here. It's been a privilege to meet the likes of Jay Trana. Jay Trana has grown hugely with WAG Media and what he's doing. People like Alice and Bob, those are people that really have won the recipe to be successful with Twitter. JC is another one. She's exploded onto the scene. Riri Gone Wild is another. And so I'm just some dude who runs a really cool Twitter account, and I hope you all follow it, Zeitgeist PM. But let's get into a couple of points. So as I said, I want to help you get the most you can out of Twitter. In turn, that's going to help the wider Polkadot ecosystem gain greater eminence. We're then going to go through some practical things to think about, practical considerations. And what we have to keep in mind throughout all of this, and the reason why I'm so passionate about this, is because people's attention spans are getting shorter. I'm just looking around. A couple of you have already fallen asleep. I get that. 7 minutes in, we don't have the attention span we used to have, right? And people are just sitting on their phones, doom scrolling. And data shows that doom scrolling is just getting worse and worse. So we need to stand out from the crowd, and we need to do that without becoming a pain. So let's get into how you could do that. Again, not definitive, just a couple of ingredients that you can use and you can apply in your own Twitter journey. Cheers to Mamacita. So number one, vary it up. You have to vary the content that you're putting out. So a good recipe would be for a Polkadot project, of course. I mean, if you're a Cardano project, you know, hey, talk about the Polkadot ecosystem, whatever. But for a Polkadot project, talk about the Polkadot ecosystem. Talk about crypto Twitter, general current affairs, your own project's influence. So for us, that would be things like polling, right? Like a poll is very applicable to prediction markets. Politics for us, sport is very applicable. And so you want to take all of those ingredients and spread out what you talk about. But then, how you do that? Firstly, emoji use. Don't put an emoji in every tweet, which I love to do. Take it easy. So about 35% of your tweets should have emojis, like this one that we did here. Hey, it's a big day for us, by the way. We just have released our latest upgrade, which allows for token transferability, which is pretty awesome. Logan Sather, our CEO, spoke at Berlin this morning, so it's actually a cool day for us. Anyway, that's what that tweet's about. TTE was loading. Then add plain text tweets. These days, just a plain text tweet stands out from all the other crap, right? And so no emojis, no images, nothing else, just text. About 25% of your tweets should have plain text. Polls, utilize polls. Twitter is great for polls. 15% of your tweets, depending on the kind of project you are. For us, it's a little bit more because they really apply to us. Graphics. This graphic was done by our head of Telegram over in India, Alex. Use images. Images really are powerful. Don't put too much text in your images. Sometimes just the image itself is the most effective thing. Do that about 10% of the time. Links, also about 10%. A link to a blog, whatever. Videos, about 5%. Again, you could increase that. So that one there of our lead blockchain engineer, Harold, that is a YouTube link, but with a 30-second video embedded into that tweet. And then when do you do this? just figure out when your followers are most active. Obviously, if you're decentralized, you have an audience in the Americas, in Europe, Africa, in Middle Asia, and Southeast Asia, and Eastern Asia. So you want to figure out where are your followers, and then span your content across the timeline. Second point, give. Don't expect your followers to just support you for the sake of it. They're not there to give to you. You are there to give to them. So give them valuable content, stuff that they can appreciate, that they can stop and consider. Because at the end of the day, a tweet is a 10-second thing. You're scrolling, you look at the tweet for 10 seconds, you move on. Make those 10 seconds count by giving to your audience. Thirdly, know who your audience is. Are they Polkadot enthusiasts? Are they just crypto enthusiasts? Are they tech enthusiasts? The goal is to reach a wider audience, so you need content that speaks to people outside of the Polkadot ecosystem. For us, at Zeitgeist, it's speaking to a better form of governance with futarchy, the ability to make predictions on anything. The fact that our tech is built on Polkadot is where we excite the Dotsama audience. Fourth, select your content output volume strategically. So for us right now, we are waiting to launch. We haven't launched the application. It's almost ready. But if we push out incessant content, then we're going to be more irritating to our audience than beneficial. So we're not going to push a lot of content right now. Even though it is Polkadot Decoded, there's quite a lot of decoded content going out. But besides that, we're just going to pull back on some content because there's not a lot to talk about, and everyone's just like, when launch, when launch. I would say at least once a day, though. No more than 7 times a day. And I wouldn't do 7 times a day regularly. Depending on your activity, depending on what's going on, if there's big news, you can push out a lot of stuff, but don't do that regularly. Fifth, and this one is arguably the most important, be personable. And I've chosen the word personable instead of a more accurate word or a grammatically correct word, which would be relatable or relevant. Personable implies a persona. Make sure that you are speaking to a person and the person can see another person behind your account. Users want to speak to a person. They don't want to speak to a computer. So give your project a voice. Relate to them. Speak to and with them. As a project, you can use collective pronouns like we instead of I. So you'll see on Zeitgeist, even though I am the guy that's running it mostly, I often throw in pronouns like we are doing this. Hey, how are you guys? We are great to see you, because we are a collective project. Instead of just, this is what's happening, deal with it. No, hey, how's it going? We have some news for you. So be personable in how you approach your audience. Twitter's fun. Have fun. I skipped that one. Just some examples here. If you think of Virgin, you think of Richard Branson. You think of Microsoft, you think of Bill Gates. You think of Apple, you think of Steve Jobs. You think of Tesla, Elon Musk. You think of Wendy's, you think of the girl in the logo, which ironically is the founder's daughter, right? You think of Santa, he's wearing a red suit. Why is he wearing a red suit? Coca-Cola gave him a red suit, and to this day, Santa has a red suit because of what Coca-Cola did. And then, of course, you think of Lay's, you think of Messi. Good brands always associate a persona to their narrative. And that's what you want to do. Be personable, because people want that relatable persona. Even here, people are like, yo, it's James, the guy behind Zeitgeist. You go to Jay Schreiner, Golden Beef, Young Beef even, from Subsocial. People are like, oh, it's Young Beef, and now you know who he really is. And there's this whole excitement about finding out who is behind the profile, because we love personas. A good example here is, I put out a tweet a couple of weeks ago, that is June 12th, where we had a crowdcast, and it was actually the wrong day. I said it's coming up later, and it was coming up in 2 days' time. So I just was like personally, hey guys, our apologies, sorry. I just went straight to it and apologized and was straight up with our audience, got it wrong, it's actually happening in 2 days' time. So be personable. This is, I think this might have been from our representative in Chile, Francisco. He made this really cool video walking through a meetup in Chile for Zeitgeist Espanol, and it was so relatable, it felt like you were there. Those kind of pieces of content are so important to make your audience stop and feel like they're there. That's what makes people stop when they're scrolling Twitter. It's how you make them feel. Stay connected to the project. Don't let social medias be out of touch with what's going on. So if you have a social media manager for your project, don't let them be completely distant. Make sure they know what's going on. Make sure they're part of the team. As the voice of the project, they need to be directly involved. They need to know what's going on inside so that they can provide feedback to the people. Never create a disconnect or else you'll lose trust. And that's my next point. Maintain trust. Build and maintain it. If that means DMing a disgruntled user, do it. You don't have to like pander to them. Just let them know that you're there. Yo, man, I'm sorry you feel that way. We're doing our best. What more do you want? Just that little reaching out can make the world of difference. You want to charm your users. So that's it. Those are 7 ingredients. How can you raise your own awareness in this ecosystem, and by doing so, raise the awareness of the .sama ecosystem? Vary it up, give, don't expect, know your audience, select content output strategically, be personable, stay connected to the project, maintain trust. Thanks so much, guys. Please follow us on Zeitgeist. Thank you. Please follow us on Zeitgeist. If you want to know more about us, I've pinned a tweet. It gives a rundown of what we're all about. We'd really love for you guys to be part of what we're doing. I've got 3 minutes, so if anyone has a question, let's shoot. Anyone got a question? Anything at all? No? Cool. Great. Oh, here we go. On the people's will, like the people identity, how brands shape our conscience. So as a guy in communications, I think the question is like, how does your communications impact people's decisions, their consciousness? And the reality is the world is driven by marketing. From 2,000 years ago, the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Romans, all in their markets, the guy would stand there trying to shout for attention. Hey, come buy my potatoes. Hey, come buy my fish. He's marketing it. He's trying to influence those people. And then, after he's got their attention, it's about building that relationship. Hey, how are you doing, buddy? Hey, how was the walk the other day? Did you have a good trip to Rome? And that relationship makes him come back. So, as a brand, what's important is get the attention, do it however you can, don't be a scam, don't scam people into getting attention. That's the worst. Most marketing is a scam, right? Because you're just trying to get attention. I could say, guys, if you follow us, I'm going to give you $1,000, and we'll get 1 million followers, and I won't have a true audience. You want to get their attention in a trustworthy way, and then build a relationship. That's how I'd respond to that. I might have one more. I think the clock only started late, so I'm going to leave it there. Guys, thank you so much. It's been awesome. If you have any more questions, I'll be available afterwards. And expect chaos. Ciao.